Good morning. From today, let us try to analyze the fourth unit of your syllabus, and it will be on production analysis. So this is the fourth unit of your syllabus. Already we have completed the first three units, and I have sent you the up-to-date notes on all these three units. So try to refer these notes. So in this unit, we will discuss the meaning of production function, types of production function. So we will discuss some 6-7 types of production function, and also the scale of production, that is economies of scale, economies and diseconomies of scale. It means advantages and disadvantages of large scale production, internal economies as well as external economies of scale. These are the topics to be discussed under this particular unit. First, let us try to understand the meaning of production function. The meaning of production. What do you mean by production? Production is another important economic behavior of human beings. It refers to the transformation of inputs into outputs. So simply we can define production like this: transformation of inputs into output. Then what are inputs? Inputs are all those things which are used in the production of a commodity or a service. For example, we will make use of land, labor, capital, organization, raw materials, tools, equipments, machines, buildings. So these are considered as the inputs or the things which are used in the process of production. So inputs indicates all those things which are used in the process of production, that is to produce a particular commodity or a service. Then output implies the final goods and services which are ready for consumption, and those goods and services can be directly used and consumed, and they can satisfy our wants directly and immediately. So output indicates final goods and services which are ready for consumption, and if we make use of those things, it can satisfy our wants directly and immediately. So these are output. We can define production in another way. Production implies a process of creation and addition of new capital assets, or production implies a process of creation and addition of utility to a commodity or a service. You know the meaning of utility. Utility implies the wants satisfying power. So we can add or create utility to a commodity or a service with the process of production. You know different forms of utility. For example, we have form utility, place utility, time utility, service utility, like that. So all these things helps to either add or increase the quantum of utility to a commodity or a service. It increases the usefulness of that commodity or service. So these things would help to satisfy our wants. Then meaning of production function. We'll make use of several inputs to get the desired output. Production function implies the technical relationship between inputs and output. See in what way the inputs can be used or applied to get the desired quantity and quality of output. All these things depend upon the quantity and quality of inputs which are used in the process of production. Therefore, there is a direct relation and technical relation between inputs and outputs. The quantity of inputs and output, the quantity of output depends upon the quantity and quality of inputs which are used in the process of production. Therefore, production function implies the technical relationship between inputs and outputs. Then we have different types of production function. There is a functional relationship between inputs and outputs. Simply you can write like this. Q is the function of land, labor, capital and organization. So this is a very simple production function. Q here indicates output, F functional relation, LD land, L labor, C capital, O organization. So output is the function of inputs. So land, labor, capital, organization or whatever the things which are used in the process of production. You can also continue. So on. Land, labor, capital, organization and so on. So Q is the function of land, labor, capital and organization. It means output is the function of inputs which are used in the process of production. Therefore, the quantity and quality of output depends upon the quantity and quality of inputs which are used in the process of production. You have to make use of better quality of inputs and in what way all these inputs can be arranged so as to reduce the cost of production. So every producer would like to achieve cost effectiveness. He has to reduce the cost of production. He has to keep the cost of production to the minimum level so that he can earn maximum profit. Then different types of production function. We have mainly some 6-7 types of production function. One is linear production function. This can be written like this: y equal to a plus bx. Y indicates output. A and b are the parameters. Usually they are the constant parameters. And x indicates quantity of inputs used. So here linear indicates a straight line production function. If you plot this production function with the help of a graph, you will get a straight line production function y equal to a plus bx. Y output, a and b are the constant parameters and x indicates quantity of output used. Let us try to have an example. If a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 2, if x is used as 2, so your output will be y is equal to 10 plus b means 2, x means once again 2. This is equal to 10 plus 4 equal to 14. So if you use 2 units of inputs having parameters a and b as 10 and 2, you will get 14 units of output. So this is the linear production function. Then the second production function is quadratic production function. It can be written like this: y equal to a plus bx minus cx square. So once again here y indicates quantity of output, a, b, c are constant parameters and x indicates quantity of inputs used. Let us consider the same example. So I can write here, if A is equal to 10, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 4, or B is equal to 4 more, and C is equal to 2. X is equal to 1. Then quadratic production function y is equal to 10 plus A means 10, B 4, X means 1, plus minus, yes, always last will be minus 2 square, or 2 raised to 1. X is equal to 1. So y is equal to 10 plus 4 minus 2. 14 minus 2 is equal to 12. So in case of quadratic production function, if ABC values are like this, then if X is 1, you will get 12 as your output. So by using quadratic production function, you will get the total output, which is equal to 12 units. Then the third production function is cubic production function. This can be written like this: y equal to a plus bx plus cx square minus dx cube. The last term will be negative. Once again, y indicates output, a, b, c, d are constant parameters, and x indicates the quantity of inputs used. We can also solve some of the problems. Take some figures and try to insert all these values in this particular equation to get the desired level of output. Then the fourth is power production function. Here the input will become to the power y equal to a b raised to x. Here y is equal to total output. A and b are constant parameters, and x indicates the quantity of inputs used. Fifth one, Cobb-Douglas production function. Cobb-Douglas, an American economist, has developed a special production function which can be usually applied to the industrial sector of America. He mainly considers two inputs, labor and capital. He says that if inputs are changed, it will produce an equivalent changes in the level of output. For example, if you increase your labor and capital by 10%, output will also be changed with 10%. So P is equal to B into L raised to A into C raised to 1 minus A. So what are these terms? P indicates the quantity of output. B indicates, B is also a constant parameter. L means the quantity of labor used. C indicates the quantity of capital used in the process of production. A and 1 minus A are the index of labor and capital used in the process of production. So apply this formula and try to get the desired level of output. So this production function given by Cobb-Douglas is highly applicable to the industrial sector of America. B into L raised to A into C raised to 1 minus A. Then short run production function. This can be very well explained with the help of an important law of production, that is law of variable proportions. Then long run production function. This can be analyzed with the help of laws of returns to scale. So these two important laws tries to analyze the production function in the short run as well as in the long run. So input and output relation can be very well analyzed in what way inputs can be arranged and rearranged in order to get the desired level of output. So this can be studied with the help of these two important laws. I think let us study these two laws in our next period. I will give you some of the examples relating to these production functions also in our next period. So thank you very much.